In a world where what we eat defines who we are, a storm is brewing, a battle is raging, a battle for our plates, our health and our future. The very supermarkets we trust are no longer just places to shop. They now influence what we eat. They've become the gatekeepers of our diets, the architects of a new food order. But what if the food they push isn't what it seems? What if there's a darker agenda at play?
Recently, a new publication by Sainsbury's supermarket revealed a disturbing vision for the future of our food. They speak of a world where real meat is replaced by artificial substitutes, where the push towards a plant-based diet is relentless. But what's driving this change? Is it really about sustainability, or is it something more?
Supermarkets like Sainsbury's have a major conflict of interest. Ultra-processed foods are far more profitable than the basics. Meat, eggs, vegetables, the foods our ancestors thrived on. The more artificial, the more synthetic, the more control they have, and the more they profit. This report by Sainsbury's attempts to normalize genetically modernized foods. It emphasizes a shift away from traditional raw foods like meat and eggs, advocating instead for technologically driven food solutions, which boosts their profits, but at what cost? Your health? Your freedom to choose what's on your plate?
The war on meat isn't really about animal welfare or the environment. Those arguments fall apart under scrutiny. Modern industrial crop production, fueled by chemical fertilizers and toxic sprays, kills far more animals than livestock farming ever could. These poisons don't just devastate life in the fields, they seep into rivers, causing even more destruction. The evidence is undeniable. Our soils are on the brink of death, drained of life, and kept on artificial life support by chemical fertilizers. This vicious cycle destroys the vital microcosms needed for natural crop growth, all in the name of profit.
Don't be fooled into thinking this is about environmental concern. The very industrial practices they push are the root cause of our environmental crisis. Unlike these destructive methods, permaculture shows us a better way, where livestock and nature thrive together, hand in hand. How you live, and ultimately, who you become. They say it's for the planet,
but follow the money, and the truth is revealed. They're not just selling you food, they're selling you their version of the future, a profitable one for them, regardless how that impacts on your health, on your well-being. Remember, we thrived for millennia on what nature provided, but since the dawn of industrialization and the rise of ultra-processed foods, obesity, diabetes, cancer, and countless other health issues have skyrocketed to unsustainable levels. Coincidence? I think not.
This report shows how future foods will be concocted in labs, chemically enhanced and engineered, pushing aside traditional, wholesome, single-ingredient foods that don't turn the same profit. Why would you want to make vegetables to look like meat? As I am sure you wouldn't want meat made to look like carrots of cabbages? Would you really choose milk made from algae or lab-grown meat over the real thing from grazing animals in a farmer's field? Don't be steered into an irreversible future where profits take precedence over your health and the well-being of future generations. Consider the long-term risks before it's too late.
For thousands of years, humanity has thrived on simple, natural foods, meat, fats, and a variety of plants, without the need for ultra-processing. The push for processed foods isn't about improving our health or the environment. It's about extending shelf life and boosting profits with cheaper manufactured products. Many so-called health foods are loaded with hidden sugars, a legacy of the 1950s myth that fat was the enemy. This misguided low-fat diet advice opened the floodgates for sugar and refined oils, sparking a devastating surge in diabetes, obesity, dementia, and other metabolic diseases that now plague society. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. recently spotlighted how the American public has been deceived by big processed food companies. These corporations, through powerful lobbying, have swayed lawmakers to promote their products as healthy, when the reality is far from it.
Another lesser-known fact is that in the 1980s, as the tobacco industry faced growing pressure, major tobacco companies began acquiring food companies. Notably, Philip Morris bought General Foods in 1985 and Kraft Foods in 1988, while R.J. Reynolds acquired Nabisco brands in 1985. These acquisitions gave tobacco giants the opportunity to use their expertise in flavors and additives to craft hyper-palatable foods that prioritize profits over health. They skillfully applied their knowledge of triggering dopamine, the pleasure hormone, to make their products more addictive. Beyond that, they manipulated food and health associations, along with government agencies, through financial support, sponsorship of research, and other underhanded tactics, ensuring their influence extended far and wide. The focus was clear: profit first, public health last.
These practices persist today, forming the foundation of the health crisis our nations face. It's no coincidence that we're seeing a pandemic-scale rise in obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and other metabolic disorders. The relentless pursuit of profit at the expense of public health is driving this acceleration in health issues, with devastating consequences.
Now, supermarket giants are following the same playbook, promoting this unnatural approach to food production as a positive shift. Just as big businesses manipulated government agencies in the 80s and 90s, these retail behemoths are using their vast influence to sway consumers. They're packaging these heavily processed, lab-created foods as the future, while quietly sidelining the health risks. It's a repeat of history where profit-driven agendas take precedence over genuine public well-being, all under the guise of innovation and progress.
Thankfully, a growing body of evidence shows that this doesn't have to be our future, and the current tsunami of diseases can be reversed before it's too late. More and more experts are standing up against the faceless profit machine of the powerful food corporations and Big Pharma, who thrive on the unhealthy nation they've helped create. These experts are challenging the status quo, pushing back against the forces that prioritize profit over public health, and proving that a healthier, more natural future is within our reach.
But you have the power to resist, to choose real food over fake, freedom over control. Support your local farmers, seek out the truth, and don't let them dictate what you put on your plate. The war on food has begun, and the future is in your hands. Choose wisely.
If you found this video interesting, our channel is packed with similar content that will keep you engaged. We invite you to like and subscribe so you can dive deeper into our thought-provoking topics, like this one on the hidden connections between these 5 addictions. Thank you for your valuable time. It is greatly appreciated.